Good morning, everyone. Brian at Beyond Mountains Homestead. I'm doing this video this morning because it's with some fear and trepidation, I guess, that I want to report to you about a fellow homesteader who is in trouble. And some of you may know her, Chelsea, over at Little Mountain Ranch Homestead in British Columbia. She is been evacuated from her home, her ranch, and so has her sister, and pretty much everybody around her has been evacuated due to some very serious wildfires. She has, or was anyway, she was posting videos on YouTube earlier this week about the fires, showing some of the damage done in some of the local area, including complete loss of homes. Now, her home at that point had not been lost, although I don't believe she knows at this point whether or not it has been or not. And her sister had been evacuated a day prior, I believe, and there was major fires in her area, and she has no idea whether her home is there or not either. The fires, there are hundreds of fires in British Columbia. There are now hundreds of fires all throughout the northwest of the U.S., all the way down into Arizona. There are wildfires right now. It's a pretty bad year for it. But the interior portion of BC, the British Columbia, is really getting slammed. I mean, it's just awful. And it's with a heavy heart that I tell you these things, because I watched in her previous videos how excited she was to log some of the, selectively log out some of her mountain so that she can make some more pastures for her horses, or I'm sorry, for her cattle. And I watched how her husband was working so hard on getting all the infrastructure built, around their farm, trying to find gravel and whatnot out in the fields, and just getting their lane improved, and all that kind of homestead stuff that some of us have to do. Some of us don't have that kind of issue, but some of us do. And I certainly don't have to worry about cattle, because there's no room for cattle on my ground, but we have goats and horses, and the rest of the story. But anyway, it's just, I guess I'm coming to you and asking you, whether you're a believer or not, whether you're the praying kind or not, I think that we need as many people out there praying for her and her family and her extended family, and for the people of BC, of British Columbia. They're really getting slammed, and she's a fellow homesteader, as is her sister, I assume, because she mentioned the name of her homestead, which I can't recall at this time. But so please, whether it be secular just good wishes, or prayers from your your Creator, pray for Chelsea and her family. And I know I certainly will, and I know there are many others that are as well. And so we just ask that you would pray that her house was spared, her ranch, which was, if any of you have not seen Little Mountain Ranch Homestead's videos on YouTube, you are missing out, because she has a gift. Her videos are phenomenal. The vistas, the views, the amazing scenery that you get when you get on her videos is second to none. It is absolutely just gorgeous where she lives. And her and Dan, her husband Dan, Farmer Dan, they have one beautiful spread up there, and they care so deeply about their land and their livestock, their animals. I mean, down to the last scrawniest chicken, they are super concerned. Uh, Incidentally, they had to leave their farm or their ranch with the gates wide open so the horses, the cattle, the chickens, whoever's there, they could all just run and flee the fire. I mean, they just have way too many. They have over 100, head of livestock. So there's no way you can just haul that out in a day's notice. So, and that's typical in ranch land. You just open the gates, let them go. Hopefully they'll, like as she said, they'll make it to the river and be able to escape the fire. So with that, I just continue to ask, and I plead with you to pray for her and her family. Pray for Dan and their fellow homesteaders, folks. This could happen to any one of us. If she had a little bit of notice, I mean, of course, she knew that there were fires in the area for a couple days, but she didn't think she'd have to evacuate. Nobody wants to think that. But they did get a day or two's notice, and they wound up being able to stuff everything they own into 2 vans and a travel trailer, and it's all their worldly possessions. They could come home, and by the grace of God, their home is still there. That's what we're all praying for. That her home is still there, her livestock is safe, and that she can continue on homesteading and ranching in beautiful British Columbia. So with that, I just say thank you for your time. Thank you for your prayers. And remember, it's Chelsea and Dan up at Little Mountain Ranch in British Columbia. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.